What is standing in the way of you and your dreams? What is preventing you from moving forward? What is keeping you stuck in your comfort zone? What is stopping you from taking risks, from finding love, from opening your heart? There's one answer, and that is fear. Fear prevents us from doing an awful lot of things, but fear isn't real. Fear is a choice. We get to choose to be afraid, or we get to fight through that. We can either fear everything and run, or face everything and rise. We fear stuff that isn't even real. We fear things that may never, ever exist. We fear something that may never actually happen. It's just our ego mind trying to keep us safe. The fear isn't real. We say to ourselves, I'll do it when I'm ready. I do it when I'm not scared. But the only way out of fear is through it. The fear only goes away when you do the thing you're most scared of. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. The treasure you seek is at the end of your fear. And that's a fact. Like I could go on for days with the list of quotes around fear. But we allow ourselves to stay stuck. And that's it. Like we allow ourselves to let fear control us. We allow fear to control our lives. We allow fear to dictate our lives. We allow fear to prevent us from moving forward. But what are we afraid of? We're afraid of happiness, because when we take risks, when we try new things, this leads to adventure, this leads to fulfillment. But when we stay stuck in our comfort zone, it's the same shit, different day. You're doing the same thing every day, every week, every weekend. It's getting boring, it's getting monotonous, but you don't change because you're like, I'm used to it. It's comfortable. And you're not even saying that because you're not saying this is comfortable, because a lot of the time the comfort zone isn't even comfortable anyway. It's just familiar. We stay stuck in the familiar because it's known. And why do we do this? It's because of fear. But why do we have fear? We have fear because of our past trauma. We have fear because of our past pain. We have fear due to the walls up around our hearts. But as I said, fear is a choice. That's the Will Smith quote. Fear is a choice. We choose to fear something that may never happen and will never happen. We've got this trepidation for an unknown reality. But what are we really afraid of? Like, are you afraid of love? No. Well, yeah. Are you afraid of happiness? No. But because we've been protecting ourselves for so long, because of past pain and trauma, it's like, is it not safer to stay in my box? Is it not safer to try new things? Is it not safer to do the same shit every single fucking day? Do you know what I mean? And this is what it is. We say to ourselves, we want to try this new thing. We want to maybe try a new relationship or want to try a new career path. But then we kind of get to the edge of it and we're like, fuck it, no, Jesus, I know it's grand, I'm comfortable here, it's fine. And that's what we do. We revert back to our old ways because we're like, oh no, it's fine. Like, but what do we really want for our lives? Do you want to stay in that comfort zone? Do you want to stay in that old reality? Or do you want adventure? Do you want something, variety even? Something different, something new, something more powerful. We have to start pushing ourselves forward. And this is why inner healing is so important. You know what I mean? We keep saying to ourselves, I'll do it when I'm ready. I'll do it when I'm not scared. But if we keep waiting until we're ready, we're never going to fucking be ready. And I learned this in 2023. I had a relapse between 21 and 23 on my spiritual journey, and I went completely down. I went to the worst than I ever was in my whole life. And to build myself back up from that, because of the pain I experienced through those couple of years, I didn't want to leave my house. I was in such a fear. I actually had a fear-based entity attached to me. So I was in a constant state of fear due to the trauma I'd experienced, but also because I had let such toxicity and negativity drain and deplete my life force energy so much that this entity could attach to me. So therefore, I was actually in a constant state of fear of everything. of going outside my front door, of being seen, of going to the shop, of driving my car, of every single bit of it. I was frightened to be alive even. Do you know what I mean? I was in a constant state. My health was deteriorating because I was constantly worrying about my health as well. And I knew I had to change. And I knew, that's when I started to do some coaching courses. And I started to realise my purpose was coaching. But I couldn't, like, genuinely, I was sitting in a state of fear going, how am I going to do this? I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to do it all on my own. What am I going to do? How am I going to move forward? And I thankfully with the right mentors and, building my confidence that way, I was able to push through it. But what I learned was you can't wait for the fear to be gone. You actually have to push through it. And I love that about knowing that is because it's actually the trepidation that we experience is harder than what we actually have to do. And I've seen this so many times with things. I could wait weeks or even months to do something because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of success. But, then I do the task and I'm like, oh my God, I love this. This is so much fun. Before I started to go on camera, I was petrified, absolutely fucking petrified, like genuinely shaken, nervous. My voice was cracking and everything. Now I love it because I pushed through the fear. I did it while I was afraid. This is the point. We have to do the scary thing while we're afraid because the fear doesn't go away. The fear comes from our ego mind, which I've mentioned before. It comes from our caveman mentality. So our old belief system, our old ego mind is protecting us from being killed by a fucking saber-toothed tiger. So it's going to stop you from doing anything and everything. And I fucking know this. The simple things, like I've mentioned this in videos before, but it's coming to me again at this time because we're all collectively, we're in an energy of transition. Collectively, we're literally coming out of our cocoon into the butterfly phase. And that's fucking scary. You know what I mean? That is scary. We're actually, after being in hermit mode for so long, healing our wounds from our past traumas, going through our spiritual awakening, literally purging every bit of pain, and demonic energy out of us, every kind of past trauma, karma, everything is after coming out of us in our cocoon phase. We're after literally wrapping ourselves in this cocoon for so long to heal from the pain that we went through. But now that we're actually about to get our wings, we're kind of like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. You're kind of like, I want to stay in the cocoon. The cocoon has kept me safe after I went through the relapse. This is me personally. And I think it's the same for us all collectively. I had to wrap myself in a cocoon to help myself push through the fear, to build my confidence to get to where I am. But now we're in this new phase of transition that we're literally coming out of this collective cocoon into this new phase, this new zone, this life of adventure. We're fucking shitting it. Like, we've literally done the healing work for this very thing, whether it be your life purpose, your divine relationship, any kind of new endeavor that you're seeking to achieve. It's fucking scary because we're literally after being wrapped in cotton wool for so long by ourselves, by the universe, by God. And we're literally kind of going, I've done all this work for this specific thing. And now it's here. I'm like, oh, I'm scared. And it's fear of everything because while we were in this cocoon, while we were healing, we protected our heart. We put those walls up again around our heart. And this is where fear comes from. When we have an open heart, fear dissipates. It just goes away because we're literally living in this optimistic energy, this positive energy. And I've done this before my relapse, especially. My friends called me an optimistic orange. I went from being the most pessimistic person in the world to being so optimistic that, everything was going right and everything will go right no matter what. Even if there was an obstacle, you fix it because everything was just positive. No fear, just do it like a fucking, what is it? Do it like a dog, testing the boundaries of the yard. You know what I mean? Like, be bold, be adventurous, just do it. Do it like everything is aligned in your favor, which it is when you manifest from an open heart. But when you're trying to manifest in a state of fear, you literally get the manifestation and you're like, oh, I don't want it, I don't want it. But you do want it, you just don't know how to accept it because you've been in an unreceiving mode for so long. You have been protecting your heart, you've been protecting your soul for so long. So when it comes, you have to kind of go, you're listening to the two voices in your head. You're listening to your soul, you're listening to your ego. And your ego is trying to keep you safe in that cage, in that comfort zone, away from, that saber-toothed tiger. And literally you try to do something new and your ego comes in and goes, nah, you don't want to do that. Jesus, why don't you just relax and do nothing instead, Because that's easier. It's unfulfilling and you're going to be depressed after it. But, why don't you do it? Because it's the thing you always do, instead of doing the thing that's new and exciting and adventurous. Because we're afraid of being hurt. That's what fear is preventing us really from. It's our fear of being hurt. It's our fear of the past repeating. It's our fear of having to go back into that cocoon again. And I know that sounds weird. We're afraid to leave the cocoon, but we're afraid to leave the cocoon and for it to get so good and then it gets shitty again and we go back in the cocoon. So it's a fucked up kind of mentality, really. Because I know I've left my comfort zone before and I've gone back into it. And I've left it and I've gone back into it and I've left it and gone back into it. And that's the thing. We create new comfort zones. We might go through the next step of fear and get up a little bit and be like, oh yay, this is good. And then it's like, let's stay here for a while because the next step is scary as well. And it's like you get stuck in this new comfort zone. You might expand a little bit and it's like, that's enough. And then you're like, no, but I want more. I want an adventure. I want my life to have meaning. And then you jump out a little bit more. And that's the secret, really, is you take a baby step through fear every day. That's it. Do one thing that's different. Do one thing that scares you. And that's the thing, at the moment, especially if you're going from the cocoon phase, the hermit mode, into this butterfly mode, you're going to literally be questioning everything. You're like, do I really want this? What do I want? Is it, you're afraid of all of it. You're afraid of failure. You're afraid of success. You're afraid of, the thing is, right, what I've discovered as well is we're afraid of things going wrong, but we're kind of afraid of things going right as well. That sounds really fucked up, but because of us being so used to our past, and because we've actually gone into that mode of healing to release ourselves from our past, we are afraid. We're so used to pain. We're so used to trauma that if it doesn't happen, we're kind of like, that's weird. That's alien. That's unknown. Why isn't that happening the way it used to? And this is a good thing. But obviously, because it's unfamiliar, we're afraid of it. We're actually afraid of it. We're kind of hoping, I've seen this with self-sabotage when it comes to the start of relationships especially, or even work, because, you've got that imposter syndrome. It's so unknown to you. It's like, am I supposed to even be here? And we sabotage it because we're expecting for the shoe to drop. Is that how you say it? But we're expecting for the results we had in the past. We're expecting for that to happen. So we kind of encourage it to happen through self-sabotage as a way of getting it over and done with. Rip that band-aid off. It's going to end. It's going to be shitty anyway. So let's fuck it up so that it just fucks up quicker rather than having to wait for the fuck up. But this isn't real. This is where we have this problem. We're after doing that healing work. We're after transforming into our better selves. We are no longer the old version of ourselves. We cannot repeat the past because we have more knowledge and more experience to actually prevent ourselves from going backwards. So we need to learn how to embrace that unknown, embrace that love, embrace that new career, embrace that new adventure, no matter what it is. Just anytime we try something new after being in that healing mode for so long, it's fucking scary. And this is where we need to learn to take those leaps of faith. Don't listen to that ego mind. Those fears are false. And that's the thing. We're actually, if you sit down and think about it, what are you afraid of? You're afraid of things working out. That's actually what you're afraid of because it's so unfamiliar. You're not actually, a lot of it is we're afraid of failure. But when you get to such a level in your healing path You cannot go backwards. You cannot fail. That relationship, that career, that purpose, your mission guides you along. Your heart pulls you along. The universe pulls you along. The angels pulls you along. You cannot fail in your life's mission and your life's perfect purpose and your forever relationship. You just can't. It's not going to be fucking easy. There's stuff that you'll have to overcome every single day. But that fear is a test on this journey. You know, you're not doing this healing for nothing. Like, you get so far when you're healing, and then you get to the reward and you're like, nah, fuck it, I'll stay in my comfort zone. This is not why we did it. We went through all that pain, all that trauma, all that purging of our past karma, emotions and trauma for a higher reason, because we're here for a higher purpose. We're here for divine purpose. We're here for divine love. So this stuff can't fail. It might be difficult to get there, but you can't fail at it. So what we're effectively afraid of is success. We're actually afraid of it working out. And that's another fear we have. We're afraid of the relationship, the job working out, because we've never experienced it before. We're like, maybe I'll just stay on this hamster wheel. Maybe I'll just do it this way. Maybe I'll just block my heart off and not let anything in, because this is what I've known. But we need to wake ourselves up to that. This is the ego mind, the old-based belief system trying to keep you stuck. You have done this growth and healing for a reason, to get you to where you are now. You deserve that success. You deserve that love. You deserve that abundance. You deserve opportunities to flow into your life. You don't deserve the life that you experienced in the past. You deserve to shine. You deserve to be the best version of yourself, to be the best version of yourself for this world. But you cannot do that if you keep letting that ego pull you backwards. Don't stay stuck in that comfort zone when you've done all this hard work to get you to where you are now. You know, believe in the magic. You know what I mean? That hard work is paying off and you're getting the reward for it. You're not getting the past on a plate to repeat itself. You're getting your future on a plate to succeed. So don't be afraid of what's in front of you. As I said, the thing you seek the most in this world, the thing you desire the most, is right at the other side of that fear. But that fear will not go away. It will not go away until you push through it. That's it. And the minute you do the thing that you're so afraid of, you're going to be like, whoa, why did I wait so fucking long? This is awesome and I love it. Really, anything that you try that you're afraid of, that excites you and scares you at the same time, you should do it. Because when you do it, you're like, what was the fear for? The fear wasn't for anything, because the thing isn't scary. The thing actually isn't actually scary. It's just your fear that's scary. And your ego trying to prevent you from feeling good because, you know, it's new. It's trying to keep you safe. But the minute you do that thing that you're afraid of, the minute you will go, what was I even afraid of in the first place? This is for me. This is lighting my soul on fire. So therefore, I'm going to push through that fear next time again. So push through that fear. Because I promise, at the end of that, and at the other side of that fear, there's fucking magic. There's abundance, there's beauty, there's love, there's everything you ever wanted. So that fear is not real. That fear is a false, old belief system within your ego mind. And everything you desire is right through that fear. So push through it. It is a lot easier to push through the fear than it is to be in fear. And I promise you that. It's harder to think about being afraid than to actually push through that fear. It's a weird phenomenon, but the fear itself is scarier than the actual task. And I promise you that. So push through the fear, because that's the only way out of it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Don't be afraid of that magic, because you deserve it. You've done that hard work to get to where you are now, so you deserve this magical, beautiful, abundant new beginning that's coming into your life. So don't be afraid of it, because it will work out. I promise. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.